I'm sitting in a 2023 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid Limited. And so the 2023 model is basically obsolete at this point because the 2024 refresh 2024 is already on the dealership lots. But I had the opportunity to drive this vehicle and I want to show it off because basically the 2024 model is going to just be a refresh where it changes some of the appearance of it. But I wanted to mention the driving experience and the overall, features you get for the price. So if you're in the market for a sedan vehicle, then definitely don't overlook this one. Very impressive vehicle driving it, and the features that you get. So this is the Limited. So this is the highest trim, but the price is just around $30,000. So for $30,000, you get leather seats. You get a hybrid system that I've been getting 48 miles per gallon. Okay, so that's good. We have a full functional screen here with navigation that's built in. A full screen here. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist system. There's heated and ventilated seats, 3-stage. There's ambient lighting that you can adjust the color. Wireless charger, electronic parking brake. There's all kinds of stuff that is just normal stuff, but also a little bit on the upgrade, and also the basic design of the vehicle. I like the way these doors are designed. The armrest here is a little bit high, but then it kind of slopes down, and it gives you more range of motion, and also it makes you feel like you have plenty of room here. And speaking of plenty of room, I mean, you can have somebody in the front seat and then still plenty of room here in the back as well. So there's lots of room in the back, and the seats could be a little bit more comfortable, but they're not bad. They're actually pretty good. I've done a lot of driving in this vehicle, and I've had no problems as far as something here getting in the way, the seat being too discomfort, like being a problem or whatever. There's a couple issues as far as nighttime usability, and I show those in the night video. But just a lot of positive things to say about this vehicle. Very impressive. So the exterior design on the 2024 model will look a little bit different, and it will have different headlights and all that stuff. So even though I've done a full night video on this, it's going to be a little bit different for the 2024 model. But even it's not a huge difference. It's still going to look good. It's going to have the basic shape. It's just going to have slight differences as far as the styling and different, probably different options overall. But it's a good size vehicle, and it has a good length too. And I think that helps out with the ride quality. Having the long wheelbase here and lots of room here in the back seat. So even with my driver's seat all the way back, I still have plenty of room. I mean, pretty good amount of room there. It has this really cool taillight that goes all the way across the back, LED. Kind of makes like a really wide H symbol, I guess you could say. It has parking sensors back here. And I really like the way they have the backup camera integrated in the very center of the vehicle, integrated into the vehicle, and also a high position. So this is really, really good. It's an example of the perfect position for a backup camera. The trunk space is phenomenal. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit too much because I have to reach way up in there in order to get stuff. And also you can fold the seats down as well to add to your cargo space. This one has the spare tire as well. So, there's so many positive things. Using this vehicle has just been a very positive experience. When you're on certain highways, it'll pull up and it says highway driving assist, HDA, and it helps a little bit with the steering and keeps you in the lane and does a pretty good job of just kind of assisting you. You still have to hold the steering wheel, but it still kind of holds the lane nicely. And this vehicle on the highway is really nice. The visibility is good. It's a smooth ride. It's relatively quiet. And I like the way the bottom of the steering wheel is open, so you can kind of grab it right there yeah, it's a really nice experience, vehicle in general, but on the highway, it's pretty good. One of the things I noticed when I first started driving this vehicle was the visibility here in the front. The way the front kind of slopes down, and your seating position and the size of the windshield here just gives you a really good visibility here in the front. It makes you just feel like you're already right there in front of the glass and you're looking out a window. Another thing is the overall smoothness of the vehicle. It's for the size and height of this vehicle, it just feels pretty darn good as far as the smoothness of the ride, and it's relatively quiet. There is a little bit of outside noises, but the engine is not, when it turns on and off, it's not really a big deal. It's actually pretty quiet. So the engine's running right now. We have display over here. And so when the engine turns on and off while you're driving, it's barely noticeable. You really have to pay attention to it to hear it, which is really good. For a vehicle like a hybrid system where the engine's constantly turning on and off, if the engine's loud, then it's just kind of, it's too obvious that the engine's turning on and off. This one's just as seamless, and you're just kind of driving along, it does its thing, and it doesn't stand out. Another thing is the seat comfort is okay. It could be a little bit better, but it's not like bad or painful or anything like that. I drove it for a couple hours yesterday, nonstop, and it was okay. It wasn't the most comfortable seat, but it was definitely not really a problem. Now the way Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, the way they operate is that they have a lot of features, and the features actually work. There's one feature that is a little bit not as good, and that is the automatic high beams. Sometimes they stay on a little bit too long, but other than that, everything seems to work good, and that's been a theme that I've seen with Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, that whole line of vehicles. And driving this vehicle, when you're just zipping around town, it doesn't have a huge amount of power, but it does have enough power to get where you're going and all that stuff. Sport mode does make a difference. So if you need a little bit more power, you can put it in sport mode. It's more responsive. It gives you a little bit more acceleration. And the responsiveness is where it really counts, especially if you're zipping through traffic and around town. That responsiveness is not like a lag. It feels like in smart mode, it's just kind of, it's not powerful and not as responsive. So the sport mode actually does do a little bit there that makes a difference in a positive way. But if you're just kind of cruising on a highway or something like that, then normal or smart mode is fine. But if you need to kind of zip around, sometimes I think it's good to go ahead and put it in sport mode. Now it has a smart, normal, and sport. I'd typically keep it at normal mode, it's fine. I'm getting 48.5 miles per gallon on average, which is actually pretty dang good. The overall experience with this vehicle, here lately I've been a little bit skeptical of the plug-in hybrid push, too much pushing the plug-in hybrids, and and a lot of hybrids, some of them don't seem really refined. This one's definitely one of the higher end ones as far as my experience driving it and everything is. I really do appreciate how they put this together as a hybrid vehicle. In general, I mean, it's a great vehicle in general, but the hybrid system, in addition to that, seems to work well, and it accomplishes the goal of efficiency. And it seems like the battery has a separate battery meter, and so it keeps the battery at a you know, a good level most of the time. It doesn't just deplete the whole thing. So that way, at certain times, the battery can be used, especially if you're just sitting in the car or whatever, sitting still in traffic or whatever. It has that additional, you know, battery level in case it needs it.